What's up, everyone? So, today we're going to be looking at my top 10 favorite mercenaries. So, this has less to do with how good they are in the meta or how usable they are, and more to do with how much I just like the character. So, that can include the illustration, the lore, um, some of them include the attack animation, and generally how fun they are to use. Most of it is from the illustration, though. So again, this is a personal list, and I hope no one gets mad because this is just my personal preference. So my top 10 favorite characters from Browndust. So with that, let's start. So at number 10, we have Ventana. The reason I really like Ventana is because of her illustration and the way I portray her, because Ventana does have the Kendo skin, and with this, Ventana actually looks like she belongs in our world, and then she got transferred to the world of Browndust. So that's just the way I like to imagine it. So she seems like a very isekai character, if you guys are familiar with the term. So just because of this, I really like her. Her design is also very nice, and if you guys notice, the set effect for Ventana is called Crescent Moon, and her attack animation actually has a crescent moon, so that's a big plus for me. Okay, so for number 9, we do have Jin from the West Wind Thieves. So Jin is the leader of the West Wind Thieves, and what I like about him is essentially everything. He has a very aloof personality. For example, in campaign, he tries to hide the fact that he knows that Nia is a beastman from her because he thinks it's cute. I also really like the kit surrounding Jin. So Jin's damage comes from his reflect damage, so he can reach 100 crit rate very easily. He does have innate crit damage, a lot of crit damage, and his agility is really high. So even if you do build him with defense runes, he will survive a lot of things. When he was still in the meta before, he could survive something like a Sigmund, etc. Something that's very very tanky with a stable damage. So he did have a place in the meta before, but now he's more of a luxury unit. So if you're lazy with campaign, for the easy stages, you could actually use Jin. And for me, normally, just to clear the Mystic Island mission, when I still haven't finished the 10 missions, I do use Jin to clear some of the weaker islands.
誰から何を言われようが、俺は俺の正義を貫くまで。
Alright, so for number 8, we do actually have Cecilia. So a lot of you are probably already familiar with Cecilia. She absorbs area of effect damage, and essentially when she is hit as the first target, she will reduce the enemy style range to just herself. Now, she's pretty fun to use. You can use her in Guild War. She does have a bit more viability in Arena right now, although that will decline in the future. And you can also use her in the co-op raid Patan and the co-op raid Dolan. So her kit is very fun in that she's the only mercenary who can absorb area of effect right now. She's relatively tanky, and I really like the story about her. Cecilia is a princess, and she's also very calm. And I like the skin for Cecilia, the Ghost Cecilia. So the skin for Cecilia is actually pretty neat because she ended up being killed unknowingly, and she does hold a lot of grudges or bring a lot of grudges with her. And I really like the voice effect which they did for Cecilia. They just made it reverberate a bit more, and those small details really get my attention.
女に恨みをぶつけるなぞ。お門違いにも程があろう。
For number 7, we have a character that has been teased recently. She still hasn't been released even in the Korea server, and so we don't really have a lot of information on her. So we're talking about Karina. Karina is Yuri's helper. And what I really love about Karina is that she really fits into the vibe which Yuri and Walia bring. So you can place her beside Yuri and Walia, and you wouldn't know the difference. You'd think that she was just another mercenary from that group. So she's actually Yuri's teacher, and I really also like the design of the character. So she has a really, how do I say this, West Wind, Monster Hunter, hot spring type of vibe. So I really love that, and just for that she's in this list. Okay, so the next one we're going to be talking about is Mia. So I really like the in-game battle sprite for Mia. I feel like she fits the theme of Succubus a lot better than Elise and Lucretia do. So that's the only reason she's in this list. So Mia is actually the top 5 warriors for Novice Arena this past week for Asia server. I'm not sure why a lot of other people are using her, but I personally use her turn 9 just to remove the taunts so that my Correct can hit more units or more priority units at the next turn. So it works pretty well for me. And the formation I'm using right now for Novice is actually a variation of the formation I copied from my old guildmate, and a lot of people have been copying his formation and then tweaking it to make a lot of basic variations. But the main component of the Novice Arena deck is from Viva Le Eva, so I just wanted to give him credit for that. So for number 5, we have Lillian. So Lillian was a pretty annoying mage before. She had 100% defense, which is something that was really annoying before. You have to remember that before, not a lot of units dealt fixed damage, and not a lot of units had 100% defense. So among the units that had 100% defense were just Arcan and Lillian. And so Lillian was a really great pick because she only needed +3 while Arcan needed +10. So she was really annoying. Essentially, if you had a Lillian, it means your mother didn't love you. So that's how annoying she was. She was a really good sandbag laner, and the more you hit her, the more damage she dishes back. So usually she also gets hit by Foxy, which is bad for the enemy because she will reflect a lot of damage. Most of the time though, she will get blocked by something like a Velfern or a Livia, but the thing is, she will block your warriors for 1 round, which is really annoying. It was, trust me, before, just when she was released and shortly thereafter, she was really annoying. And I just love what they did with her kit before they made the +15s. So she was a really fun pick, and even now you can use her actually for Guild War and like Underground Arena. So yeah, she's in the number 5 of my list. So for number 4, we have Walia. So Walia is a unit that taunts when she supports allies, and back then she was the only unit who could have done taunting without attacking. So this was really good because you'd be helping your allies. Essentially, imagine you have a Foxy attacking the enemy lane and you have a Walia protecting your lane. So she was a really great support. I remember when she was first released, I treated her something like a godlike unit. I really wanted to pull her, and remember back then, diamonds, everything else, skill books were hard to come by. So the goal for most free-to-play players was to get Seer, Lillian, and Walia. Walia could be used from the get-go. At +0, she doesn't have a lot of buffs, but the thing is, you really just want the taunt at first. The buffs are very game-changing, but the taunt is the main thing that you want from her. And even if she dies, her attack buffs actually do last for 24 turns, which means that most of your warriors will still be able to benefit from her even in round 2. So yeah, the kit for Walia is really nice, and the reason why she's so high in this list is because I just remember the time when she was newly released and I just really wanted the Walia. As a free-to-play player before, I was spending everything on Seer and on Lillian. I didn't have books for Walia, but she was still usable even if she was +0. and that just really excited me before. So yeah. Alright guys, so we're down to the top 3, and I'm pretty sure you guys won't be able to guess my rank 3. So rank 3 isn't really a fan favorite or anything like that. She's just something I really like. So for rank 3 we have Tiara, the 3-star defender. So most of you might not even know what Tiara does. So Tiara is basically a 3-star defender who stuns. Yes, that's all she does. The reason why I really like Tiara is essentially her design. Same reason as Mia. So first and foremost, I would like to say that for the defenders, the 3-star defenders, I do love all of their designs. It's really cute. I awakened all of them just for the design. So especially for Mercedes and Mine, besides Tiara. So Tiara's my favorite one, and then followed by Mine and then Mercedes. So as a new player, you'd probably be confused with Mine and Mercedes. So they kind of look the same, but yeah, they're different. Mercedes is the one that's useful for novice arena, and Mine basically shocks the enemy. So yeah, the other reason why I really like Tiara is she seems like a trans version of Naofumi from A Rising of a Shield Hero. So she reminds me a lot about Naofumi, and for some reason I can always imagine Tiara wearing a Baker outfit. I mean, if Pantheon can get a Baker skin, why can't Tiara, right?
まだ倒れないか。しぶといな。この赤ようやくわかった。お前が本当の悪魔だという。
Alright, so for rank number 2, we actually do have a fan favorite. So we're talking about Shion now. So Shion is a collaboration unit from the anime That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. So in Browndust, she's a 4-star warrior, and she's essentially a weaker version of Ventana, but her design is just so good. All of the collab units actually do have very nice animations, attack animations. For example, Benimaru does do the attack he does in the anime, and Gopta does do the shadow step with Ranga, which he also does in the anime, which is really cool. And there are also some smaller things that I appreciate, such as Shuna. When Shuna attacks, she actually smiles, which is kind of fits her in a weird way. But yeah, if you want to see all the animations for the slime collaboration characters, I do have a video on that, so I'll attach the link up above. Okay guys, so rank number 1, I'm pretty sure it's the same for everyone. So the rank 1 mercenary for me is Mamonir. So Mamonir is just a really fun unit to use. She's a god unit in Guild War. She can block a lot of things, and she's really tanky. The reason why I really love Mamonir is because she's my first Octo, and before as a new player I did have a +0 Mamonir, and when I was using the +0 Mamonir I came across a +10 Mamonir, and the +10 Mamonir essentially 1v8 my entire team. And at that point I decided to get a +10 Mamonir myself, and I don't really regret that decision. Even until now I still use her. She is slightly weaker in the meta, but when she does get her own +15 update, she's definitely gonna come back in the meta. So that's it for this video guys, and again, these are all just my opinions, so please don't say that Tiara is really weak, Ventana is really weak. I know they're not exactly viable, but they're just my favorite characters. So if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. And yeah, thanks for watching guys.